Welcome in. This is, I believe it's episode number 8. Getting ready for the cold to drop down from Canada into our neck of the woods. But this is Beach and Ball. I am Ryan.
And I'm Lucas.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. The conference play still raging on, I would say.
Yeah, it's getting really good. We're kind of living vicariously through these teams right now. As you can see, we're kind of trying to get beach vibes in here, and it's very windy outside and cold. And fortunately, it's not cold like Buffalo cold, but it is. We're trying to channel the warm thoughts through the beach and the ball, and the teams are helping us out by we get roughly 2 games a week right now. A lot of times they're playing on Thursdays and Saturdays.
But yeah, we can't have beach vibes because of the temperature, but we can have ball vibes.
There we go.
That's right. This would be a pretty good show today, I would say. It'll follow a pretty similar format. We usually have our stories to lead off with. We're going to have a fun game today, which is going to be Would You Rather. We'll see and we're going to see how that goes. We'll include our team of the weeks in there too, and we'll finish with our picks as we usually do. But that's for later on in the show. So we want to get started with the stories of the week, which there are a few of them. So I am going to start off with player of the week for this week. Abubakar Traore for Long Beach State was the player of the week. He is one that I'm not surprised because his first game of the week this past week, he had 30 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block against Cal Poly. Which that put him on my team of the week for last week. So he ended up averaging 22 points, 9.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 2.5 blocks. So I would say pretty solid performance from him.
Yeah, what a few games. Like that's really impressive. I always forget block as a stat. I don't see that a lot of times come up right away. But a lot of defense. Love the defense play there.
One of the funnier things is I think like the nationwide leader in blocks is at Ole Miss.
Oh wow!
And that's also because it's also because the player's 7'5".
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Over his last 2 games, Traore, he's shooting at least 50% from the floor. That's incredible. Game against Riverside, who's shooting exactly 50, and last game in their good try but lost against UC San Diego, he shot 62.5%.
I mean, yeah, like the last game they played in, well, not the last one, but last week, against Riverside, I mean, he had a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. So, I mean, he is a very good player, especially with Shahonas on Long Beach State, too. The other thing I noted about him, too, that this is his first career weekly honor that he's gotten.
Wow, congrats to him.
Which I think you, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's a junior.
He is. Yeah, he's a junior.
Okay, so he has a little time to get even more of these as we move along. Also fun thing about him too, just seeing that he's from Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah, I love that. That's like the fanciest way to say any country name, and I'm here for it.
I love that. I actually love that a lot.
It's also a country you do not want to see in the World Cup. They are very scary. They're very fast, and they're very good at international football, not American football.
They also they'll win games in the World Cup every once in a while, depending on their draw.
Yeah, they're good.
Some of the other guys who were nominated in this too: Deshaun Allen Ikens from Northridge, Justin Hahn from Irvine, Jovan McClanahan from Hawaii, AJ Mitchell from Santa Barbara, Kyle Owens from Riverside, Mr. Olympia, Elijah Pepper, and then Bryce Pope. So, even then, that's still like pretty solid group of guys and pretty consistent guys who are in there. Do you have anything else on Traore? Because then we have a couple of games to talk about too.
No, that's all I had on Traore. One of the games I really wanted to talk about was I still think they're good. It's just one game, but we were singing Northridge's praises last episode, and then they repay us by turning around and getting beat by 20 points to UC Davis.
Not ideal.
Yeah, and some of those guys you just named, like Elijah Pepper and
Alan
might have
Ikens.
been the only one you named. Yeah, Alan Ikens, but Alan Ikens had a pretty good game. Elijah Pepper, Kane Milling, and Ty Johnson all above 20 points or above in that game. So three players accounted for 67 points.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good.
That's on and Northridge scored
from what I
75.
understand.
Yes, Northridge scored 75.
Man.
So three players from Davis almost could have matched Northridge's scoring in that game.
That's dominating. That is dominating. But also probably means that how many points did Elijah Pepper have again?
He had 20 points on the nose. He had 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 fouls. He was 4 for 11 from 3 and 5 for 12 from the floor. He only did 28 minutes, so he dropped 20 points in just a little over half the game.
It's kind of this is also kind of surprising. He hasn't gotten a Player of the Week honor this year yet.
Really?
Yeah, he actually in his career he has not had one. So it sounds like he could be due for one.
Yeah. I was about to say, not for the lack of trying. I mean, he is putting up great numbers. Ty Johnson, also 25 minutes. So he played 3 minutes less than Pepper, still put up 20 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists.
I mean, actually, and he's like the school's all-time scoring leader too.
Really?
Yeah, he got that like earlier this year, I think, too.
Nice.
So let's see. One of the games I think I wanted to talk about in here was the battle of the Beatons, pretty much as we as we called it. UC Santa Barbara against Cal Poly. UC Santa Barbara won, 61-52. They also, the line going into the game was 6.5, so we cover.
Nice.
Which I watched some of this game. Which I watched some of the second half after the NFL games were over with. It was at one point in the second half, it looked like kind of sloppy because there were like a lot of like turnovers.
Yeah. I'm not sure if like the players just aren't used to playing for that long, and so they kind of like empty the tanks later on in the game. I noticed, so in that game, I'm looking at Kobe Sanders for Cal Poly. He played 35 minutes, and Jared Hyder, also from Cal Poly, played 37. So they are only getting 3 and 5 minute breaks throughout the whole game, and so that's a lot to ask for. I know they're borderline professionals and they're very good at what they do, a lot better than I am, but I still feel like that's a lot to ask for college kids.
Oh, it is without question. But like, which also isn't surprising that like Kobe Sanders like led the team in scoring, or led the entire game in scoring because he had 22.
Yeah, very good numbers from him. He's 8 for 17 from the floor and 1 for 3 from behind the 3-point line.
But yeah, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5
Also,
assists.
it looks like he had five rebounds and 5 assists.
Which I mean, is sad because I mean, Cal Poly just they appear to not be very good right now. Which I mean, they only got 4 wins. Things are not great, but well, might as well give the Gauchos and Ole their flowers. Cole Anderson had 16 points, a rebound, and an assist. AJ Mitchell, while I was watching it was like pretty quiet from him. I was expecting to see him score a little bit more, but he had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Josh Pierre-Louis, who I think was on like the Player of the Week watch last week, 9 points and 3 rebounds. So, and also UC Santa Barbara had an 8-point lead at the half. So,
oh wow,
which for that felt like there was probably no coming back from that for Cal Poly.
Yeah, they'll get in the win column eventually. I know it, but for right now, it is kind of easy to pick on them a little bit. I'm wondering what do you think they need to turn things around?
Score more. That's usually a good key to winning, is to score more points.
Yeah, I'm looking at their 3-point numbers right now. So in that game, it looks like they hit 5 3-points in total, and they took one guy was 1 for 3, another 1 for 3, a 2 for 8, a 1 for 2, and 2 0 for 3s. So they're throwing up the threes, but hardly any of them are coming back down through the net. So that's a big area that they need to work on.
Well, I mean, at least from what I see, at least from what I saw in that game, they did have like a legitimate chance to win this game too. Even though the score says they lost by 9, because I mean UC Santa Barbara turned it over 17 times.
Wow.
So I don't know what you got to do. The other part of it, they created 17 turnovers. They only shot 30% from the field.
Wow.
And UC Santa Barbara was 50-50 from the field.
Yeah, if you're gonna play great defense and get that many turnovers, you got to cash in on the other end. Because
yeah, I mean, Kobe Sanders, as good as he is, he's not scoring. He's not going to be scoring 50 points a night.
Right.
If he gets to the next level, maybe, but in college, not right now. He's not doing that. At least from what I see, he's pretty much the one that's he's stirring the drink over there, and wherever wasn't it San Luis Obispo?
Yeah.
I love that I just know that now.
It's such a cool name for a city too. Like, it's very long-winded, and I get that, but I don't know. I would say it all the time if I was from there.
And I mean, we talked about it in our preview of Cal Poly before, but yeah, it's also like a beautiful place, which is not surprising that a place in California is beautiful.
Yeah, very, very picturesque.
Yes, yes, indeed. Which even looking at the Wikipedia of San Luis Obispo, even Cal Poly makes it into the picture of the town.
Wow.
From the mountains. Do you have anything else on Cal Poly? I feel bad. I feel like we're picking on them a little bit.
Yeah, but it's just going to be that much sweeter when we get to sing their praises too when they win a game.
I mean,
and we'll get to that point, I promise you. But for right now, it's like a roller coaster. Once it's going down, the only place for it to go is back up.
I mean, you never know, because I mean, like college basketball, you really never know what can happen. I mean,
yeah,
whatever, like the 1, 2, 3, and 5 teams in the country all lost.
Exactly.
Not that Purdue losing is the number one team is an upset, but what are you going to do? Which I mean, which at least if we're looking at games, the two probably most likely that the ones they might have most likely a shot at would be they play like UC Riverside pretty soon, and UC Riverside is not very good. Well, they beat them, but they are not very good.
Yeah, I was about to say they just did play Riverside Thursday the 11th. Let's see who their next
Riverside won.
Yeah, their next game is against UC San Diego on Saturday, and then next Thursday, it looks like they are sitting out.
Now they get the night off.
Yep, and then they'll be back against Bakersfield on Saturday, January the 20th.
That's winnable.
That's winnable for them. Yes, that's a good chance.
Although Bakersfield just took Santa Barbara to the wire last night.
Yeah.
The other game I always wanted to talk about too was one of the other games I wanted to talk about was the battle of the two unbeatens, which were UC Irvine and UC Davis. So UC Irvine won 74-71. They didn't cover because the line was 9.5.
Mm.
So if you were financially involved, sorry.
But if you were in the stadium, you got to see extra basketball because they had to win that game in overtime.
That game also went over the total, by the way, too.
Oh, wow.
In the overtime. Which to add to the old saying, they don't call it undertime.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's the one that told me that. But I think that's really funny. I'd never heard that before. You said it to me that one day.
Yeah, I heard it from Scott Van Pelt.
They don't call it undertime. Yeah, when I was betting on hockey, that was a big thing. Is once if they went into overtime and you needed one more goal, you were pretty much set.
Yeah,
as long as somebody scored.
Pull for the shootout.
Yeah.
So where UC Irvine, because UC Irvine won, obviously, they got most of their production out of their starters. So like Justin Hahn, 14 points, a rebound, 3 assists. Bent Lukton, 14. One of your boy, Bent Lukton, 14 points, 9 rebounds, a steal, an assist, and 3 blocks.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he also shot one from beyond the 3-point line. It didn't go in, but at least he tried.
I know. You know what? He's expanding his game.
Yeah.
And then the other guy I had was Andre Henry scoring 12 points, 5 rebounds, and he had a block. A lot of blocks in these games. At least from what I see.
Good defense.
And then UC Davis, you could imagine who led the way or who leads the attack there.
Yeah, another Elijah Pepper and Ty Johnson, both with 20-plus points. Kane Milling kind of had an off night, only 4 points. He picked it back up in that other game we talked about. I also
included Leo DeBrule on there too, because he had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Elijah Pepper how old is he? A senior?
He should be. Let me see.
Yes,
he is a senior.
It's our last year of Pepper. Actually, well, maybe not our last year of Pepper, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know where he stands with like COVID year. I don't know if he's got an extra year of eligibility somewhere.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't like do a grad transfer somewhere. But yeah, so UC Davis, at least in reality, UC Davis actually should have won this game in the first place. because they missed a game-winning shot in regulation.
Oh no.
Just so, and also Justin Hahn tied it with 4 seconds left in the game.
Wow.
So I mean, I think UC Davis I believe they were on the road for this.
They were.
Which also probably means that if they were at home, as it turns out, if they are at home, they probably win.
Yeah, that big toss up right there. That'll lead you to a lot of picks if you're going to get financially involved. I'll talk about one a little bit later during our pick segment. Some teams are very good at home, and some teams are very bad on the road.
Yeah, some of them are not so good when they leave their place. The other thing I wanted to shout out to with UC Irvine too is that because people, of course, are doing bracketology in January. UC Irvine would currently be a 13 seed.
Hey,
and they would have dangerous. To play. I believe they'd have to play Baylor.
That's the 4 seed, right? 13 and 4?
Yes, it'd be the 4.
That's dangerous.
What? So there's people usually like to pick 13s over 4s.
Yeah, I haven't looked much at Baylor this year, so I don't know how they'd match up size-wise and skill-wise. But like we've talked about in almost every episode, these Big West teams are not ones that you want to see come tournament time because anybody can take down even the giant teams.
It's together we zot, brother.
Zot, zot,
zot. So just looking at this, so Baylor would UC Irvine it'd be a short trip because they'd have to go to Salt Lake City.
That could play in their favor as well.
But if they win, they get the Brigham Young University.
Oh boy.
They can go to what's the name of that soda chain that's in Utah?
Oh, Swig.
Swig. I knew it was some S word.
Yeah, no, I've always wanted to try Swig because it sounds so wrong, but like enough people like it that I'm like, okay, maybe I want to try it too. Yeah, if you've never heard of a dirty Dr. Pepper, have we talked about that on this show before?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, anyway, a dirty Dr. Pepper is Dr. Pepper and like half and half.
People say dirty Dr. Pepper. I would think it's like they put like codeine in it or something.
Oh yeah. I mean, what is half and half if not codeine for the Mormons?
Is Swig in fact served in used styrofoam?
Probably.
They got the dirty soda in styrofoam.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, and that's not the only thing. They've got a bunch of other like monstrosity flavors that I'd kill to try, but that's just the one that's like their most famous is the dirty Dr. Pepper. I'm sure if you don't like Dr. Pepper, you can get it in like Coke or something else too. But the people coming from Baylor, they might enjoy the Dr. Pepper.
I just found it on their Facebook. Yes, they are in fact styrofoam cups.
Yeah, buddy.
Because of course they are.
So I think, so the Dr. Pepper factory is actually in Waco, Texas, if I'm not mistaken, where Baylor plays.
At least that's one good thing that's happened in Waco, Texas.
Oh no. And there it is.
Yeah. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Jesus, the Dr. Pepper Museum looks like it was in like an old mission.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go. So I've been to Texas before. I've got family there. I've never been to Waco, so I'd be excited to go and try them out. I hope they have a tasting room, kind of like World of Coke in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, look at this place.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like a mission.
Yeah, that green truck on the outside, that'd be perfect for like a food truck.
Oh, I like the old signs that are on it too.
Yeah. I wonder if they have any like models, those like die-cast metal models of that green truck in the gift shop. I'd buy one.
It looks like a cat. It kind of looks like a cattle car.
Yeah.
Also good thing we got that our token talk of some horrific tragedy out of it.
Yeah. And I just watched Jurassic Park the other day, and it made me think about this. Where instead of life finding a way, like Beach and Ball will find a way to talk about somebody dying.
First it was that Bakersfield, the guy who went to Bakersfield who killed like 3 people.
Yeah.
And then last week it was the St. Valentine's Day massacre.
Oh boy.
Because we found about the and then we also found that WWF pay-per-view.
Yeah. If you want to any true crime podcasts out there that want to diversify their portfolio and do a crossover episode with us, we're down apparently.
Yeah, apparently so. As we slowly drift closer to that too. Oh yeah, I forgot that we had brought that up because it was held for some reason that pay-per-view was held in the Memphis Bass Pro Shop Pyramid.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we took the scenic route toward that one.
Did you have anything else on UC Irvine and UC Davis?
No, I think they have to play again later in the year. I do not know when. I do not have that date pulled up, but that will be a very good rematch to watch. And I assume since both these teams are hanging out at the top of the table, it will be a very important rematch to possibly for seeding in the conference tournament.
Yeah, especially because like at least from looking at the bracket, I think like the top 2 seeds get an automatic semifinal berth.
Oh wow.
So getting those top 2 seeds can be very, very, very important. The other game I had on here to talk about too was before, since we already mentioned them getting blowed out last night. Might as well talk about them winning. Cal State Northridge beat Hawaii. That was another one of Hawaii being good.
Yeah, so Hawaii is being really weird. They were killing it in non-conference, and now they're sitting at 1-3 in conference play.
I do want to look at the teams to see the teams that they've played, which I for some reason can't name them offhand.
Yeah, so they lost to Irvine in their last game. They lost to Northridge on Saturday the 6th.
Oh, they lost to Fullerton.
Yeah, they beat Bakersfield. That's their one conference win so far.
So I mean, at least from looking at it, they're pretty much have played like hard teams for the most part.
Yeah, hopefully
the 2 teams that they've lost, 2 of the teams they've lost to are really good. At least we think.
So their next game is against Riverside, which could be a toss-up. Riverside's been pretty hot.
Except Riverside can't win on the road, which is the other problem.
So Hawaii's got that going for them. Then they've got to go to Long Beach State, which again is a toss-up. It really depends which Long Beach State shows up. Then they've got San Diego. That's a tough one. San Diego's really good. And then they've got 2 games against Santa Barbara and Cal Poly, which we know that they've been on the lower end of the table. So that might be some pick-me-up games if they drop one to San Diego and or Long Beach.
Shout out the UC San Diego. Whoever runs their Twitter, because they like give us the most likes on our tweets.
We love it.
Which for a while it was like every time I did one, they responded to it. So
heck yeah.
Sweet. Them in the UC the Cal State Bakersfield ticket office.
Big hearts for you guys.
Yes, GG's in the chat. So at least the attack, at least for Northridge, pretty much comes from the usual guys. So Deshaun Allen Aikens leading the way, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Gianni Hunt, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Since we talk about blocks a lot, here's another good one. Keontae Jones, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals, and 4 blocks.
Wow.
And then Deontay Bostic, 11 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. So Northridge is looking good.
Yeah, in that game, especially, everybody got on the score sheet except for one. We had a guy on the bench, Jared Barnett, came away 17 minutes. He's 0 for 4 from the floor, came away with 0 points. And then you got one of the starters in De'Aaron Tucker. He only 11 minutes, but he only came away with 1 point. So, and I assume that was from a free throw.
Which also interesting too is at least from what I've seen, like 2 guys from the Big West are on like the watch list for the Lou Henson Award, which if you don't know what that is, that is it's the best player from a mid-major.
Wow.
So Deshaun Allen Ikens is on that.
Yeah, that would be an incredible get for the conference if we could wind up with that in a trophy case.
AJ Mitchell is on that.
I can see that. AJ Mitchell is playing his butt off.
Yeah, Mr. Universe, Elijah Pepper is on it too. So yeah, so three guys on there from the old conference.
Pretty good odds.
Yeah, it's better odds than some places. Which also if one of the guys in this won it, that'd be incredible. Which mainly for AJ Mitchell, that'd be awesome because he is a junior, so he's going to be like better next year.
Yeah.
So
if he doesn't win that award, he should at least be on the ballot for it again next year.
Yeah, we'll start the campaign for him right now.
Mm.
Actually, we'll start the campaign for all of them right now, I guess. The other thing too is this game. So that game was tied at halftime, by the way, too. So obviously Northridge pulled away in the second half, getting a 10-point advantage and holding that. Otherwise, at least for Hawaii, most of the players who like led the way like in attack were pretty much doing it from starting. So Jovan McClanahan, 23 points, a rebound, 2 assists, 5 steals. Noel Coleman, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And Justin McCoy, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. From our boys on the island. Did you have anything else on this game too?
No, I mean it pretty much came down to what I thought was going to do. Impressed by both teams.
The only other note that I had the only other note that I pretty much had on this game was that Cal State Northridge pretty much outshot Hawaii the entire game. So, I mean, Northridge was better at the free throw line. They were better on just on the field in general, and they also had a higher 3-point percentage.
Yeah,
which isn't really too surprising from a team that is, at least from the way it looks, is a little bit better.
Yep. So what are we looking at? Hawaii's 9-6 overall, and Northridge is 12-3. That's really impressive. 12-3 so far.
They're looking good. They could be getting a bye here in the Big West tournament.
All right. Well, does that wrap up our recap segment? Are we ready to move on to our games?
I believe it does. I was going to pull up the bracket just to kind of see or just to at least look at the how it would look. But if we want to go to this we go to this right now because we can find that later.
Okay. Yeah, we'll Whenever we pull that up, we'll get a look in what if the season ended today? Who would stand where in the?
Ooh, I have it actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, it with this being an 11-team conference, this isn't really surprising, I guess, or it is weird. So the top 8 seeds make the tournament, I guess. So if you're in 3 and 4, you get a single bye, and then the 1 and 2 seeds get the double bye.
Wow. So bottom 3 don't make it.
Yeah, bottom 3 aren't in.
Wow. That if season ended today, that leaves off Hawaii, Bakersfield, and Cal Poly.
That's rough. Which, well, I say for 2 of those, it looks like that. The way it looks right now, that's probably going to be the case.
Yeah. UCI's got a game in hand, so San Diego has a chance to catch up. But currently, Irvine would take the number 1 seed, and UC San Diego would take the number 2.
No, that'd be crazy. Do we want to go to our games?
Yeah,
Or at least the game.
Yeah, well, the name's still a work in progress, but one of the things we thought we might call these, we want to start naming our segments. So at least for this episode, it's going to be Game Recognized Game.
I like that.
And trivia is easy, and we'll come back to it for our listeners who like trivia because we like it too. But we want to keep things fresh. So yeah, this week we're going to be playing some Would You Rather.
I like Would You Rathers.
All right. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
If you want to go first, that would be just lovely.
All right. So I know some other guys have come up in the scoring, and so maybe this would be a better question to revisit in a few weeks. But at least at the beginning of the season, Marcus Sahanis and Caleb Higgins were our 2 big points getters. If you were on a team against both of those players and coach said, Ryan, you got to guard one, who are you guarding? Are you guarding Marcus Sahanis or are you guarding Caleb Higgins?
That's tough because, well, Marcus Sahanis is really good, and Caleb Higgins is my guy. I don't know who I might have to guard. I might have to guard Marcus Sahanis just because Caleb Higgins strikes fear into my heart.
Oh man.
I also to be fair, I wouldn't be able to put the clamps down on either of these guys, and they would probably send me to a hospital by breaking my legs so horribly. So, needless to say, I might have to go with Marcus Sahanis.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, and I mean, in all seriousness, like how tall are those guys? They're probably like over 6 foot, and neither of us are 6 feet tall.
Yeah. Let's see. Caleb Higgins is 5'10".
5'10". That's not bad. I'm 5'11".
Yeah, I'm shorter than that. And then Marcus Sahanis is 6'3".
Oh yeah. So
6'3" from our favorite place, Portland, Oregon.
Oh boy. Yeah. So we know he's got that dog in him.
Yeah. So we'll know he'll kill us.
Yeah. Oh boy. I think who would I think it depends on who the better 3-point shooter is, because like even when we played like intramurals or just like pickup games, I was always so bad at guarding the 3. I was not great at in the paint, but I was at least a little bit better. I could draw some contact maybe and get some offensive fouls going, or like draw some offensive fouls from them maybe. But I think I don't have the numbers pulled up, but I think I would guard whoever the worst 3-point shooter is.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a little research on that. Are we talking career 3-point shooter or this year?
Let's just go this season.
let's take a look at this. Marcus Shahonas, he is, let's see, he's he's a 79% free throw, 76% free throw shooter. He's a 25% 3-point shooter.
Okay.
That's Marcus Shahonas. And then my guy, Caleb Higgins. Let's find him. There he is. He 5'10", 160, actually, Caleb Higgins. Wow. He is also a 26% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I might have to go with Higgins just because, like, me and him are roughly the same height, so I might have a fighting chance. But he could still probably, put me in a spin cycle.
His career made in threes apparently was at Gonzaga.
Oh wow!
So big game player. So I have one, and this is based off of our discussion last week about the different venues. Which place would you rather play in? Would you rather play in the Long Beach State Walter Pyramid or the UC Santa Barbara Thunderdome?
Oh man, that's tough. So these guys don't have that problem because most of the teams, if not all the teams, have to play in both eventually. But if I was going to play a game, honestly, I love the sound of the Thunderdome, and so is the question like, am I playing there as just like a game, or is that like my home arena?
Home arena.
Oh man, that's hard. Because like the Thunderdome just sounds so cool, and I was about to pick the Pyramid because I'm like, if it's just for a game, the Pyramid would be cool to see and everything like that. But like trying to protect the dome, I might have to go with the Thunderdome. Wow, I really did not think I was going to say that. I was about to pick the Pyramid until we determined it was a home place. But I definitely do want to go watch a game at the Pyramid. I think that place is so cool. Just to have pyramid-shaped buildings that aren't, like historical monuments, like the ones in Giza, the Mayan pyramids down in Mexico. Yeah, we got a Bass Pro Shop and this basketball arena.
Okay, so this might also sway you onto the side of the Thunderdome. I found there was an incident that happened at the Thunderdome, apparently.
Oh no.
It's called the Tortilla Technical. Get ready for this. So apparently during the 80s, like the kids at UC Santa Barbara would just like throw toilet paper onto the court after the first make by the Gauchos.
Oh wow.
So the school decided that we don't want to do that anymore. So the students instead started throwing tortillas instead.
I love that. The Tortilla Technical.
Wait for it. So the team would be assessed. Okay, so they'd be assessed a technical foul for delay of game, while the tortillas were getting cleaned up. During a game during the 90s, apparently one of ESPN's cameras got ruined by a tortilla.
How does it get ruined by a tortilla?
I guess it said that fragments got into the mechanism.
Oh no!
So UC Santa Barbara had to pay for a new camera.
Yeah, the forbidden taco.
Oh no! Oh man,
just camera equipment. Jeez.
So let's see. They tried to stop it. Obviously, it didn't work. ESPN came back in 1997 for a game against one of a school we're kind of familiar with now, with Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
The game was interrupted 3 times by tortilla technical fouls.
Those are some of my favorite. Like, some of them are kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Traditions. Like when, especially in hockey, like in Nashville, when somebody throws like a catfish onto the ice or an octopus in Detroit. This is hilarious. This is a level of hilarity that I can only imagine. If I was Santa Barbara, I would take full advantage of this, and I would have like uniforms. I would have uniforms that have tortilla print on them.
Oh my god.
And what you might be asking, what is tortilla print? You know what I'm talking about.
Corn or flour?
It depends on what you're eating. Like, if it's a breakfast taco, it's got to be flour. But if it's like street tacos, it's got to be corn.
So apparently they don't do it anymore. We're just
boo.
at basketball games, I should say.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta go tailgate and throw some mad tortillas on the grill. Make some
in that game against Pacific, apparently someone almost hit their own coach in the face with a tortilla.
Oh man.
Which just the idea of the coach just getting hit in the head with a tortilla is fabulous.
Yeah, that also sounds like a bowl game. Like I can imagine the winning coach getting like a
tortilla
shower. Yeah. Like big Gatorade bucket full of tortillas on the coach.
So after the coach apparently almost got hit with the tortilla, apparently the students had to be searched for tortillas.
Oh no. Not weapons.
Can I pat you down, sir?
Yeah, you got any tias on you?
Yeah. Put your wallet and your keys in your hand. You gotta get that. You gotta get that El Paso tortilla off you.
Jeez.
Do you think El Paso is probably banned out there just because of their close relationship to San Diego?
Maybe. I hadn't thought about it like that. I don't discriminate against tortillas. I like them all.
I love tortillas too. But yeah, of the two, I think just entirely based off of its name and now learning that tradition, I'm definitely going with the Thunderdome.
Yeah, the Thunderdome wins out.
You can throw a tortilla at me if you want to.
Yeah, the Pyramid definitely gets points for being cool, but the Thunderdome just ekes out a win.
The inside of the Pyramid looks really cool too.
I don't know if this is like a fever dream, but I swear I remember going to like a Hard Rock Cafe in Myrtle Beach that was also shaped like a pyramid, but I could be wrong because I went in like middle school to do that, so there's a lot of time to misremember that.
I just searched it right now, and it's a Myrtle Beach Hard Rock Cafe pyramid. Oh yeah, there it. They had to tear it down.
Oh man,
they demolished it in 2016.
Yeah, I remember. There used to be another pyramid. There was one on the East Coast of Myrtle Beach, one right in the middle in Memphis, and then one in Long Beach State.
Is it all the coasts? All the coasts have to have pyramids on them now.
It's almost like a conspiracy. Like how many? Like aren't there 3 pyramids in Giza, and then there's 3 there were 3 in America? Like something's adding up here that we're not supposed to see.
That's right. That's actually that's where the Illuminati were. They were at the Hard Rock Cafe pyramid in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Yeah, they were getting their camouflage from Bass Pro Shops.
And then they were completing all of their activities at the Long Beach State Walter Pyramid.
Yeah. Oh, also the Luxor in Vegas.
Oh, I forgot the Luxor Pyramid.
Yeah, shaped like a pyramid. So
there's so many pyramids.
I know. it's kind of scary.
I'm also just looking up pyramids in the United States right now.
Heck yeah.
I just that. Yes, there are pyramids in the United States.
Yes, we got obelisks too. We got an obelisk at the Washington Monument. We got.
I'm just trying to find these right now. Most of them are just like saying they're like pyramids made out of dirt, which are that's kind of disappointing. I just want full structures. I'm a big fan of full structured pyramids. So with that said, you want to go to your second one in the Would You Rathers?
Yes. Let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, so this one's kind of tough because it's about trading out team. I know we've talked about like who could we recruit to the Big West and everything. Would you rather trade UC San Diego for San Diego State, or would you rather trade Hawaii for Gonzaga? So you're getting two. Either way you go, you're getting a good basketball team in return. But do you want to disrupt the history or the the culture of those teams that are already here?
It's a good question because basically you're basically just going to pick a new team who's going to you're basically picking a team that's just going to dominate the conference probably.
Yeah, true.
Do I want the team from Gonzaga that has the team from Washington that's never won anything, or San Diego State? I might take San Diego State just because they are at least in the footprint, and I also think you also could probably compete with them a little bit more than Gonzaga, who would just probably kill everyone. Even though Gonzaga is not very good right now.
Yeah, I think they're ranked like 23rd or something
Yeah,
at the
they-
time of recording.
They lost to Santa Clara last night.
Oh boy.
It's probably the first time Santa Clara has beaten them in like 50 years.
Yeah.
13 years. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with the same thing, San Diego State, because while I love UC San Diego, it would just make sense more for the conference because not to pick on them, but UC San Diego is still going through their probation period where currently they can't make the playoffs or the March Madness bracket. And I don't want to trade. Like, I know Hawaii for Gonzaga is basically our only non-California team for another non-California team, but I like the culture of Hawaii too much to trade them for really anybody.
You got the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah.
The best type of Warriors, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
I think they add a certain zhuzh to the conference that you can't get in other places.
You got to have that zhuzh.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Also, I feel like in the era of conference realignment that we're in, we would just be adding a 12th team.
Yeah, I was about to say, in reality, we wouldn't have to trade anybody, but maybe we can coax some of our past members back, like a Boise State or Fresno State.
There aren't any places in the country that have a actual crosstown rivalry. I don't think. In the conference, there's none off the dome that I can think of.
No, I'm trying to think of crosstown rivalries like to begin with. Like, I know we got San Diego State and UC San Diego, but like
I
all
think
the
of
other rivalries that I'm thinking of are at least a town or two over.
I know, because I'm trying to think of places that are in the same conference and in the same town.
Yeah, because like even Tobacco Road, like it's still Chapel Hill versus
Durham,
which I guess they're close, but they're still two separate cities.
The other one I tried to think of, this one was too far away. It was Akron and Kent State. But even they're still like 25 minutes away.
Right. I mean, I guess you could go USC and UCLA. But
I guess so.
But LA is a huge city, you know.
Yeah. It'd be like Georgia Tech and like Georgia State or something like that.
Right.
I don't even know what town Georgia State's in. I think it's in like Boonesboro or something. I think that's a town name in Georgia, something like that.
Probably.
Actually, it'd be like if Vanderbilt and like Belmont were a rival.
Right.
But for how Vanderbilt is in basketball, they probably are actually rivals. The other one this one could be fun since we also talked about the location of schools last time too. This would be a place. Where would you rather go to school at? Would you rather go to school in San Diego or Hawaii?
Um, I'm gonna pick San Diego, and I'll tell you why. As much as I love Hawaii and I would love to go there, I feel like I am not financially stable enough to move around too much. So once I got to Hawaii, I'd kind of be uh figurative, literally and figurative. I can't say that word.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, literally and not literally on an island. And because I don't know about you, but flights to Hawaii are very expensive. And so it would just be harder to like come back and visit family. As much as I would enjoy being there and eating the food and seeing the sights. I love Hawaiian food, by the way. Like if you ever get a chance to have like um huli huli chicken or what are those called? Spam musubis. Love spam musubis. There's a Hawaiian barbecue restaurant here in Lexington. It's my favorite restaurant in town. Um, I still have to go with San Diego because they still got good food. They still got awesome things to do, but at least it's on the continent and
Dude,
or at least on the mainland, and it would be a little bit still far away from home, but it'd be a little bit easier for me to come back.
so here's a wrinkle to this hypothetical. Would you rather would you rather go to Hawaii given everything that you had just said, or you can go to San Diego, but the only way that you can get there is you have to get there flying to and from on Allegiant,
Hmm.
your favorite airline.
Yeah, my favorite airline. Um, I might as well go to Hawaii at that point because either a really expensive airline ticket or an airline flight that probably won't leave on time.
Well, we're saying that unless the Allegiant you want to sponsor us, well, then
Yes.
Maybe we'll.
Yeah, then we'll fly
Although
Allegiant everywhere.
Yeah, except I'll happily, yeah, we'll be sitting on the floor of whatever one of your
Yeah,
flying coffins that you like to
Yeah.
use.
treat it like a subway. I'll stand up and like hold on to a bar if you'll fly us to Las Vegas so that we can rent a car and drive to Henderson to the Dollar Loan Arena.
Just I'm just imagining like getting onto an Allegiant flight that that is like one thing. I imagine you're getting close to like just hanging onto the wings, if the wings
Yeah.
can in fact stay attached to the plane.
Yeah. And I know a lot of airlines do this. This is not an Allegiant only problem. I just don't like that they nickel and dime you out of everything. You gotta pay for carry-ons, you gotta pay for check bags, you gotta pay for, the only bag you get for free is a personal item. So like if you got a backpack, that's cool. But if you got a backpack and another bag to carry on with, you gotta pay for that.
Yeah, I don't like that. 'Cause I remember I flew to Las Vegas and a friend of mine, he flew on a different airline. And he like had to pay for like bags and stuff, and I was like, I literally just took my carry-on onto the plane, and that was that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. If you like going to Florida or Vegas and Allegiant's got, however cheap their tickets are, and that's what you can afford to go to the places that you like to, by all means, don't listen to me. Go do it. I just wish that Allegiant would leave places on time.
Yep. So at least on my side, I think I am very tempted by Hawaii just because of the like natural beauty of Hawaii. But I'm also not in the spot where I could probably afford to be there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
Isn't Hawaii like
I
one of
am
the most like
unaware-
expensive states in the
yeah.
country too?
Yeah, because everything's got to get shipped there. That's not already being made. Now, Hawaii does make a lot of stuff there, their own. They do have farms. They do have like cows and stuff. But I am unaware of how expensive it is to get from island to island too. I don't know if there's ferries. I don't know like what method you use or how expensive it is. But like even being on that specific island, it might be pretty expensive to get just to the next island over.
Oh, actually, this could be interesting too. Actually, my choice would be UC San Diego, by the way, just because I thought San Diego was beautiful.
Yeah.
Would you rather fly Allegiant to and from San Diego or drive in a car on a hypothetical highway to Hawaii across the ocean?
Oh man. Are there rest stops? Or do I just pull over on the shoulder?
Actually, well, I guess there would have to be rest stops because I doubt there are very many cars that are going however many hours that would be without
I was about to
gas.
say, your boys got to get gas. And I would be fine driving to Hawaii. I'm one of those babies. I can't go long periods of time without stretching my legs. I got to get up and walk around.
Which would be kind of hard to do on an Allegiant flight whenever they're putting people like in the overhead compartments.
Yeah, I'm very picky on any flight. It's not just Allegiant. Like even on Delta, I have to have an aisle seat or something with a little extra leg room. But yeah, it would be a little bit scarier to drive over the ocean like that, especially if I'm just like pulling off to the shoulder to like get out and walk. But yeah, it would be that. Also like the light situation. Like I know you'd have to have street lights because at night it would get like pitch black. But honestly, I think that'd be cool. I think once you got far enough away from LA, like the stars would be really pretty. There wouldn't be any light pollution.
I know. I saw this on TikTok not that long ago, but have you seen the video of like, it's like a person who's like on a cruise ship and then they show like, oh, during the day and here's what the ocean looks like at night.
Oh yeah.
And literally you just see the deck of the ship and then it's just pitch black everywhere else.
Yeah, that's scary. That's why people are afraid of the ocean.
That's also why I'm anti going on cruises, by the way, too.
Really?
Yes. They seem to me to be basically a floating petri dish of diseases.
Yeah, I could see that.
And also, I mean, I guess depending on the cruise ship, because now they're not like built like the Titanic anymore. They're built like it's basically like a city that floats on the water.
Yeah, I saw an ad for a cruise the other day that had a go-kart track on it.
That's insane.
Yeah, I was like, that would scare me.
Yeah, you reckon you go flying out into like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah. I would get on a cruise. I'm just picky about where we would go because like I am not one of those people that appreciates like private islands and stuff where people just lounge in the sun and all day because I'm very sensitive to sunlight. So like you get like one beach day out of me and then after that I just want to go do other stuff and like try to stay out of the sun.
I almost would want to be on like one of those cruises where you can can see the shore the entire time.
Yeah.
Which also, I guess, it also kind of depends on where. I guess I'm not totally anti-cruise because I would very welcomely like go to Alaska and do one of those.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's another one where you could probably see the shore most of the time. Have you ever thought about going deep sea fishing?
I thought about that too, and then see all the like giant monsters that live in the ocean that we haven't discovered.
Yeah, I've been deep sea fishing a few times. You can relatively see the shore. It depends. You can see the taller buildings, not the shorter ones. But you go, yeah, the ones that I've been on. I haven't been on like the crazy ones. Like if you're gonna go catch tuna, you have to go way out there. But for what I did is relatively still closer to shore, but far enough out to where you kind of feel a little isolated, and I really like that.
Have you also gone on like the side of TikTok that is the North Sea?
Oh yeah, I saw a few of those videos. Just the swells, like the way the ship was going.
Huge.
I was like, oh man, like, is it going to be okay?
And like literally the giant like waves that crash onto the boats.
Yeah.
Also, just makes me think of that show Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, my parents used to love that show.
Otherwise, those were my two my would you rather's.
I got one more so that we can kind of wrap this segment up. So, as some of us may know, depending on what you studied in college, Anteaters come from the Xenarthra clade. Is like a family of animals. Would you rather replace Peter the anteater with one of his cousins, either an armadillo or a three-toed sloth?
Oh, armadillos are awesome in
Yeah,
every single way.
I would agree. There's a bunch of cool animals in that same like grouping or family. I don't know if family is the right word. I wasn't a biologist, but uh like some extinct animals that you see on like the one of the Ice Age movies and stuff. But I think yeah, I would have to agree armadillo all the way.
Aren't like armadillos? I know like how a lot of stuff that we use comes from nature. Doesn't something like come from armadillos, or is it like or they were the inspiration for something? I don't know what I'm thinking of, but I think it is something to do with their armor.
Yeah, it might be like I'm not really sure to be honest because I'm trying to think of different armors and I know like in medieval times in England, but there's no armadillos in England.
Don't like armadillos also like carry like leprosy
Yeah, I think so.
allegedly.
They're just cool little dudes with leprosy.
Oh, in the southern United States, some armadillos are naturally infected with the bacteria that causes leprosy.
Yeah, and I think armadillos are starting to become.
They're starting to move north.
Yeah, there's armadillos in Kentucky now.
That is insane. I don't know what I would do if I just saw an armadillo walking around in Kentucky. I'd probably just be like, "Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Please don't get hit by a car."
But as we all know, nobody can truly replace Peter the Anteater.
I was trying to think of some like weird fever dream. Would it be possible to replace Ole?
Oh God.
Is there a creepier mascot that we can find?
Yeah, Bonesaw from the first Spider-Man movie.
Bonesaw. So you're just replacing it with Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Or just find someone who's like extremely steroided out.
The fighting Randys.
The fighting Randy. Oh,
Yeah.
also just makes me think of Austin Powers when he says, "Do I make you Randy?" Did you know what Bonesaw had a last name?
Did he?
It's Bonesaw McGraw.
Bonesaw McGraw. I love that.
I think that it's Tim McGraw's brother.
He said, country music's not for me, but you know what is? Kicking people's butts.
Also off air, I'm gonna have to send you a picture of Randy Savage that I found as Bonesaw, and it just is very disconcerting. So that was fun.
Incredible. Yeah.
So we learned about tortillas.
Yep. We learned about tortillas. We learned about anteaters being related to armadillos.
Was it during that segment that we had to bring up Waco, Texas?
Oh yeah, the Dr. Pepper stuff.
Oh my God.
Go drink a dirty Dr. Pepper for us, please.
Also feel free to give us some extra suggestions if you have more different game ideas that we could do, because we're always welcome to them.
Yeah, we're trying to switch it up some. We're not opposed to doing like 2 sets of trivia or would you rather's in a row, but we want to keep it fresh. We don't want to bog people down with the same old stuff.
Yeah. So that being said, do we want to go to, before we I guess look at some of the games coming up, do we want to do our teams of the week?
Yeah, I think we can speed through this a little bit.
So I'll start with mine because I did mine a little bit differently, just because based off of last week, I only would have had like one game to work off of. I decided to predict what the end of season first team would look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go through mine. I had Deshaun Allen Ikens. He's probably going to be on there considering that he's on the watch list for best mid-major player. 19.5 points, 5 to 6 rebounds, 2 assists a game for him. So real solid player overall, of course. I had AJ Mitchell, about 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's another one. He's on that watch list. He's probably going to be on here, and wouldn't be surprised that if he also would not be surprised if he was player of the week, not player of the week, player of the year, back-to-back years, given that he's a junior.
Nice.
Lucina Traore from Long Beach State. He's got about 12 points. He's averaging a double-double a game. And also he throws in an assist. He's another one. He's another one that he's young too. From what I remember. So it's possible that he is going to get even better too. Which as I find out, he is also from Cote d'Ivoire. And he is a junior.
Nice.
Third, our guy Elijah Pepper. He probably more than likely is going to be first player or on the first team for the Big West. 22 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And then the last one I had, pretty much he could be a guard or a forward. He's technically listed as a forward, but I think you could fit him as a combo, guard and forward. Abubakar Traore, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Overall, I just enjoy what he brings to the table.
Yeah, that sounds like a really solid team. My team of the week was just based off 2 games. A few of these guys made the cut probably when they wouldn't have normally, but they turned some slumps in their game around, and I was really proud of them for that. First off, we got a forward, Bernardo da Silva from Hawaii. He had a double-double in one of his games with 14 rebounds and 17 points. Next, we move on to our guard, Ty Johnson. He had 2 20-point efforts, and in the first game, he was actually on the bench. And in the second game, he went and got the start and still put up a 20-point effort.
Oh, I like that. I also feel like I've seen Bernardo da Silva a lot, at least from watching a lot of these, he's a pretty solid pick, I would say.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's doing a really great job. My third player I've got from San Diego, I've got Bryce Pope, a guard. He was 8 for 19 from the floor and 5 for 8 from 3 points. So they were feeding him the ball a lot, and he wound up with 26 points against Long Beach State.
Bryce Pope, he's another solid player. I remember looking at him from some of my research.
Yeah, so they were feeding him the ball a lot, and he was cashing in. Fourth guy, forward Francis Nwakorie from San Diego as well. So he, in his last game, he shot 66.7% from both the floor and from the 3-point line.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so imagine I can't fathom throwing anything up and knocking 2/3 of them down. So that's really impressive on his half. And last guy at guard, Isaiah Moses from Riverside.
Oh yeah.
So he led the game in scoring against Cal Poly, and he turned a shooting slump around. So in the first of 2 games that I looked at, he was 0 for 11 from beyond the 3-point arc. And in the second game, he turned it around, and he didn't shoot so many, but he only shot 3. But all 3 that he did shoot went down. So he went from 0% to 100%.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I got an honorable mention here. Kyle Owens also got a double-double against Cal Poly.
Oh yeah, there we go. I thought I heard his name a bunch of times when I was watching that too. So those are our teams of the week. Next week we'll probably be back on the same page of actually picking of doing just the games for this week for both of us. That is
right.
So I guess we might as well preview. See if there's any games next week that look particularly interesting on the schedule. Which at least the one big one that I'm looking at is UC San Diego against UC Irvine, just because both of them, I believe, are unbeaten.
Yeah,
still.
that'll be a tough matchup.
That's one where I feel like UC Irvine could end up coming out on top, just because UC Irvine is at home. Another game that I'm kind of interested in too. Looking at Hawaii and Long Beach State, I'm kind of curious how that is going to go. Because, let's say, Long Beach State, I do think they are good, and they're probably going to be one of the top 4 seeds. And Hawaii is pretty much fighting to stay on the good side of the tournament.
Yeah, that it's almost like relegation, like the bottom 3 seeds don't make the tournament. So yeah, Hawaii's got some favorable games up ahead, but they've got to play catch up with some of the other teams.
And then, as I said, for me, there's really only one other game I was kind of really had my interest, which was UC Irvine, UC Davis.
Yeah, that will be
the rematch.
Yeah. When does that happen?
January 20th.
January 20th. Yep.
120.
So honestly, it's a pretty quick turnaround. I was hoping to get a few more weeks in before that, but here we are.
We could see UC Davis, they hung around and probably should have won at UC Irvine, so that they could be very live in that game. Were there any other games, at least next week, that kind of draw your attention?
Yeah. So next Thursday is our battle of the unbeatens. UC San Diego and UC Irvine going at it. One of those teams, I assume they're going to win their game before that, because one of them is playing Cal Poly and the other one's playing like Bakersfield or something.
Yes, I think so.
So I have to assume that both of those teams win that game. And if they do, then they go into their matchup undefeated in conference play, at least. And that game is in Irvine, and Irvine has already come away with the win over Davis in Irvine. So I have to assume that that they get the win over San Diego in Irvine as well.
Indeed. So that said, do we want to wrap things up and pick some games?
Yep. I've got mine 2 picks lined up right now.
So at least a little standings update. I am currently at 11-2 with one more game to play for this week, because Northridge and Fullerton haven't played yet. And right now you are currently at 9-5, which you're currently on a heater. You're 4-0 the past 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. That makes me feel a lot better, because for a while there I was averaging 1-1.
Yeah, which also is weird, because at least from my breakdown, I won 5 and then lost 1 and then won 4 and lost 1.
Nice.
Which is kind of weird.
Putting together some streaks.
That's right. Got to protect the streaks. So lay it on me. Who do you got first?
First game is the game I just talked about. I am officially locking it in as my pick. UC Irvine over UC San Diego on that Thursday, January the 18th.
Which is interesting. You're 2-1 when you've picked UC Irvine to win outright.
Okay.
So that one is, I would say that one is pretty interesting in itself.
Yeah, I was also looking at, that's the one where Irvine is 6-0 at home, and that's where that game is going to be. Let me double make sure that game is going to be at home. Yes, it is going to be at home in Irvine, which they are 6-0. And looking at UC San Diego, they're also very good at home. They're 7-1 at home, but only 3-3 away. So UC San Diego does not appear to be road warriors. and therefore that's why I'm going with Irvine.
Is that would have been one of my picks too, which very fair that you took that one because that one looked good too. I am going to go with. I am going to take UC Davis over Cal State Fullerton. I do think that UC Davis it can be very good. I'll be interested to see how they do on the road, given that Fullerton at least can play some teams kind of hard, and I feel like that would also be like a good test for them.
Yeah. Funny enough, that was my other pick too, and now I'm gonna have to do something off the fly. I think it's funny. So ESPN has Fullerton currently. This is a matchup predictor. However, you want to take that grain of salt. Fullerton's got a 54.9% chance to win over Davis's 45.1, which is funny because
I think it's because they're at home.
Yeah, it is because they're at home. But let's see, UC Davis. Okay, they're kind of opposites. So at home, Fullerton is 4-2, and away, Davis is 2-4. So
there's that.
But no, I think that's a really good get too. Obviously, I think I think you're going to be happy with that pick. Let me see what I want to pick.
I do have my second one lined up too. Hopefully, please don't take it.
I am gonna go with that one's too much of a toss-up. I don't like that. You know what? I'm gonna go with it. Give me at home Hawaii over Riverside.
Ooh, okay.
That game is Saturday, January the 13th. That game may be played by the time this video gets put public, and that is okay. But yeah, that game is tomorrow, and it's at midnight, so I think that's in Hawaii's favor too. But yeah, give me Hawaii over Riverside.
That one will be interesting. You are 1-0 picking Hawaii as a winner.
Nice.
I'm also 1-0 picking UC Davis, by the way, too.
Nice.
The other one, it's a system play. I'm about to be going sicko in a second. It's a system play. Sorry. Give me Cal State Bakersfield over Cal Poly. Cal State Bakersfield is at home, and Cal Poly hasn't won a game on the road yet. So hopefully Caleb Higgins take me home. Take me home. At least get me one win for the week, and I will be very satisfied.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good pickup too.
I hate that I have a system play for these.
That's okay.
We trust the process here.
Right. We see a pattern, we follow a pattern. That's all we can do.
So do you have any parting words?
No. Like, share, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. We're still trying to accomplish some goals we set forth for this podcast. I'm working on it right now. So hopefully by the time you're listening to this, I have already upped some of the production quality. I'm saying this now so that it forces me to do that. But yeah, we're very proud of what we put out there, and we hope you like it. If I could ask for anything, it'd be more involvement on the socials. Ask us questions, give us some thoughts, give us some recommendations for segments, for games, for questions. Anything you can think of, send it our way, and I promise you we'll take a look at it.
Give us anything. Give us anything and everything. So like, follow, watch, rewatch, subscribe. Play it on your phone, play it on your computer,
Yep.
play it on your work computer. Do whatever you want.
And if you or a loved one either went to a Big West school, currently play for a Big West school, or work with the Big West in some capacity, shoot us a DM and we'll see if we can start getting some guest speakers on here.
And also, since we forgot to mention this during the pick, so if you or someone you know has a problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yes.
Um,
Call or text. It works both ways.
Indeed, it does. So with that being said, I am Ryan.
And my name's Lucas.
So with that being said, go out there. Hopefully, if it's warm enough, go enjoy the beach. But also, more importantly, since it's cold, you can stay inside and enjoy the ball.